Hello everyone, it's Ebba here. I'm still not feeling top notch, so I'm doing very simple projects these days just so that I can get through them without sounding terrible or really fumbling badly. Anyway, today I thought I'd do a little project. Now, before we actually uploaded any videos, we did a couple of videos to sort of practice and get started and get used to cameras and all sorts. And we were using a different camera at the time. We decided that it wasn't going to work for us, so we got a new camera that's an actual video camera rather than trying to use the Canon. It was a good decision to actually get a different one, but in those days I had made a really simple folio, and it's this one. And it is made out of one sheet of paper. Now, at the time, I'd made it out of a 12 by 12, which makes it much bigger. One is a nicer, smaller size because you can tuck this very easily into any journal or your pocket, even if it's something, that you want to use in your pocket. And I'm going to show you how to make one of these. They're really cute. Now, in this case, there's going to be a leftover strip on the paper when you cut it. And I used the leftover strip to make this little tag. That's kind of a pretty little thing. And it matches so that it can just be tucked in. And on the other side, I had made a little notebook, just a very simple one, just to glue together one of my glued together notebooks out of old papers that, were used on the back, but not on the flip side. So they've got one blank side, so it could be used for writing almost anything on. And fits quite nicely in this little thing. I didn't even have to cut it down. There it was. So I thought I'd show you how to make one of these today because they are really simple. And they can be folded either that way or the other way. They can be folded this way if you want to, but they don't hold together as well if you try and do that. So you kind of have to have the blank part on the inside. And you can glue that together if you want and turn it into, just more of a hard type of folio. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to make it out of this paper. Now, I'm just using digital papers that I've bought from people on Etsy. I didn't even write down the name of the people that I got this particular paper from. I know there was 250 beautiful papers in different roses and things. So I printed one on one side and one on the other. I'm going to use this to make the little folio. So it's an 8.5 by 11 paper. You could use A4 if you want to. The thing is, you've got to get it square in order to make the folio. And you can make this out of a 6 by 6, an 8 by 8, 12 by 12, or any size in between, as long as you have a square sheet. I'm going to use my cutter today because it's just easier for me. This is a cutter I bought. I don't even know the brand of it. Yeah. I bought it on Amazon a few months ago because I needed one that I could measure that measures 12 inches and actually cuts, and I can replace blades on easily. I had one that was from Tonic, and the trouble with it is the blades are very costly for one thing, and they had to be Tonic blades because these Fisker blades, which is what this is, didn't fit it. The Tonic cutter, and it was really nice because it actually had a scoring tool in it as well. But when the blades got dull, they're not sharpenable, so it was basically useless to me because it would tear every sheet of paper or card that I was trying to cut. Of course, the thicker that your paper or card are when you're trying to cut on these things, the cleaner your cut will be. They work pretty good. Now, because this is an 8.5 sheet this way, and I gotta see if you can see that. Because it's 8.5 this way, I know what I'll do. I'll bring this down for a moment. I'm gonna have to push it back up again. But because it's 8.5 this way, from side to side, I needed 8.5 this way, and of course it's 11, so I have to cut some off. So, and I've actually on here, I don't know if you can actually see that, I've actually marked the 8.5 mark for myself because I do things and I need to know where that 8.5 is. So just line it up, make sure that it's lined up all across on any cutting blade like this or any of them. Make sure it's even, and then you just cut it, and it works really slick. And then you've got a square, or you should have. Now, I mean, you can measure and make sure that it actually is, because on some of these papers, you never know, if they don't do it accurately when they're cutting, if it's not quite accurate. No, this one is. There's nothing there cutting, so it is 8.5 by 8.5. Good. Something's right. Excellent. So now we've got this and this. And this is what I made the little tag out of. Now, if you wanted to make it a solid tag, not just a folded piece, get a little piece of cardstock and stick in there before you fold it over, and then just cover the cardstock, and then you fold it just in half. Not particularly fantastic or anything, but just fold it in half. And for some reason, my edge isn't lined up on the one side. It's lined up on one side and not on the other, which is okay. Okay, typical. Okay, we'll just get it as much as we can. This is one of the things with me. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It never wants to sit absolutely straight. Well, that's better. Okay. All right. So then we've got our tag ready, and we're just going to set that over there. Now, so what do you want? Well, you've got a double-sided piece, and I suggest you get a double-sided piece. Don't worry about if it's upright or it's down or whatever, because, well, if I bring this one in, even if you take out the things you put in, this is a little pockety. It's just a little thing with pocket in it and on both sides. And even if you take it out, you don't see much of the pattern itself as is it upright or not. So I wouldn't worry about that. I'm gonna turn these around. I'm gonna put the notebook on the back. How about that? Switch it up. Anyway, get in there. There. So don't worry unless it's a blatant. But you're not gonna have to worry about it anyway, because you're folding this very different from up and down. Okay, so but you do have to decide which side you want to be like the one you're folding in, and which side you want to be the one you're having on the outside. So for me, I want the yellow, I think, on the outside. I like yellow better than blue. I chose blue because it was the right shade of paper. It was very pale, so I chose this one. Normally I would have picked a green or something. Not big on blue. Blue and purple, they're my ones I don't really care for. I don't mind blue. I don't mind blue as much as I don't like purple. But so what you want to do is, first off, you're finding the middle, the very center. You can do that by measuring and drawing lines, and you could get a ruler and just do this, corner to corner, make sure that it's even, draw your very center piece, and then you're good. But you're going to have to fold this anyway in this way, so you may as well just get her started. I can't even control paper today. Okay, so you want to make sure that your edges are as even as you can get them. Your corners are actually being folded in, into the corner type of thing, so that it's as in half as possible. And then unfold that. Okay, so, and then turn it the other way, so that you're going to fold on that line toward the other corner, and fold that in half. And do the same thing. Line it up as best you can. Do that. And get it to the corner. Good. Good job. Okay, so now you've got this with the marks on. And what you're going to do is you're going to take each corner and you're going to fold it up to this center dot. And try and do this as, again, try and keep your line on the line so that it is actually evenly done. I do them opposites and then fold in the sides. You can do them all the way around. It's however you feel comfortable getting your edges put together. And you're making a sort of an envelope shape. It's not quite an envelope because it doesn't fold up over itself. But you're kind of making an envelope shape. And you want your, now it's going to argue with me. Like I say, you want your dots, your points, to be as in the center there and lined up as you can get them. See, that one's not quite right because I folded that corner over itself, but hopefully, if I can straighten it a bit. Still, these types of things can be fussy if they feel so inclined. Anyway, there we go. That'll work. And then we do this. Last one in. No. Try to get it to the corner. Corner. This one is going to be a royal pain. No, it's not. Anyway, there we go. It's good. And then what you do is on that line that you folded everything in the very beginning, this line, you're just gonna, or you can do it this way if you want. Like if you look at it and you say, oh, I want to do it that way, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Whichever line, you know, make a choice and fold it. And you fold it back. And then you just crease it, you know, with your fingers, or with, if you've got a bone folder, use that. Just crease it. And then to make the little pockets and to make it so that you're not necessarily seeing the inside, you can glue these pieces down. Now, if you want to use it more like an envelope pocket, then you can leave one side open and just not glue it down and glue the other side down if you want. You know, make a choice on which one you want to be glued down, or leave them both up if you feel like that's what you'd like to do. I kind of like them. I like one with a pocket, and then the other one can be an envelope pocket. So either way, it's sort of a pocket, but you see, you can tuck things in like it's an envelope and then close the door. Right in the middle I am. Or you can use it like a pocket like we used the other one. So I'm going to glue this side down and glue. I have a little cart that I can wheel around from one of my desks to the other because I'm so important. I have two desks. I took two desks once for videoing at, and the other one is for working and doing and writing and all the things, all the other things that are involved in the background, the part that you don't get to see. Okay. And you want to make sure that your gluing is sort of, so the other part doesn't glue to it. And it sort of covers up then the other side of the paper. And then this one I'm going to leave open. So if I take my goodies out of this one, you see, I could tuck my little notebook then into here and close the door, and you can actually put a fastener on there if you want to. There's many ways of handling that. You could put a button closure on there and have it actually come around to this side, and you have a little button with a little thread, and then it comes around here, and there's a button on this one, and you just wind your thread around it. And then on this side, we can tuck in our little, let's just pretend we've made this into something. We can tuck that in there. So we can, you don't have to use it the way that the first one I made is used, which would just be sort of as a little text thing. And then, of course, to strengthen it, let's take notebook out, to strengthen it and make it so that it stays a little nicer, just take some glue and glue this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it so that you can actually tuck, so it's another tuck spot, by just gluing the edge here and here, like the three sides. Now I'll show you. Do the three sides, push this shut, and let that glue down on three sides. So you've glued the center, so that's not going to come open, and then you glued the edges, so it's definitely not coming open on you in the middle, but at the same time, you left a little tuck place, like that. And you can, put something in there. You could put a card in there, like a journal card type of thing, with a side piece that sticks out, or a ribbon or something like this, only shorter, so that you can pull it in and out of there a little easier. But yeah, you could stick an index card in there maybe. Don't stick things in until the glue is dry. Because then it either wants to stick in there permanently, or bring the glue out with it, or push it apart. Anyway, so that's it. It's just a very simple little project. I like to say, you can make them out of cardstock if you want to. I made mine out of paper because it's just a little easier for me to fold. And if you're making it out of cardstock, I would suggest that you don't make these extra, like the extra folds that you start with, your corner folds. Just use a ruler and mark, because otherwise you're going to end up with too many folds on your cardstock, and unlike paper, it will show. So yeah, you can make them a little more sturdy just by using cardstock instead of paper. Print it on both sides. If you've got a printer that will print cardstock, most printers will print the 110-pound index, and I'm going to have a video probably next week sometime, possibly this week, we'll see how it goes, that talks about paper and weight, the paper weights, and I don't mean the kind you set on things, the weights of paper in North America versus the rest of the world, and what that means, and paper sizes and all that stuff. So I do feel that if you're a beginner, you're probably confused with all the paper things. But anyway, if you find a 110-pound index, it will likely go through your printer. If you find a 110-pound cover stock, which is a heavier weight cardstock, it probably won't go through. If you've got an inkjet printer, it probably won't go through it, because most inkjet printers aren't meant for that heavy of a cardstock. Anyway, that's it for this little project. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have fun, use it. There's all kinds you could use this as a gift card holder, for giving a gift card to somebody. Just tuck it in with a card, with a birthday card. There's lots of little uses that you could find for something cute like this. I hope you enjoy. And I've already showed you how to make notebooks, so I won't be showing that again. All right. You take care. Have a good day. I'm going to go and try and get over this darn whatever, and see if I can get healthy again. Talk to you again soon. Bye now.